Hi, this is David Avery with Intermountain Radiator, and today we're going to show you a rod out on a big radiator or a cat loader. We're going to take you through the process. Here it is on the truck coming into the shop. It's pretty big. If you notice, it's probably over 6 foot by 6 foot anyway, and weighs anywhere from 600 to 800 pounds, I would guess. It takes several guys to lift one. We try to do everything with an overhead crane if we can. First thing we do is we take the side straps and the tanks off, and we deal with those things individually. Here's a picture of Emilio taking the side straps off, and he's going to pull the tanks off, and then we'll clean the core out individually also. We'll prep all the different pieces in sections and then reassemble it as we go. Here's a picture of it flat on the floor. Notice how nasty it is. These radiators here, the industrial radiators like this, are made out of thicker, heavier material. They're meant to be rebuilt several times before you have to throw them away. Here's a picture of the tank inside, if you notice how rusty and nasty it looks. And then we're going to have a picture of a man standing behind it, just to give you an idea how big it really is. You don't want one of these to fall on you when you're working on it, that's for sure. I believe this is a 6-row, it looks like. Pretty thick, transfers a lot of heat. There's a picture of the bottom tank and some side straps waiting to be run through the hot tank and then prepped and painted. We sand everything down to the bare metal, and then we start off from scratch and paint it. Here's a picture of the radiator in the radiator shop. We're going to rod it out. We're going to run our steel rod down through each one of these tubes individually and clean it out. That's what a rod out is. There's the rod out tool, which is a piece of spring steel, and we run it down through each one of these tubes and clean them out. Then we blow it out with air and flush it out with water. That's how we clean it off. Also use brushes and stuff on the outside and whatever else we need to use to take off the corrosion. Here's a picture of one of our guys cleaning off a side strap. We'll have, if you notice over to the right there, there's power tools that we use. We use a lot of sanders and stuff on these when we're cleaning them up. We'll take them down to the bare metal and then prep them and make them look like brand new. Mark's here, he's putting on a gasket. We custom make all the gaskets for these out of gasket material that's special order. We use grade 8 bolts when we're putting cat stuff back together. We don't use any standard stuff. Grade 8 bolts are tougher. And that way, if you have any problems with them, they don't break. We will prep and paint this. We'll let it all dry, and then we reassemble the radiator into one unit. Here's a picture of the bottom tank. Now, remember the bottom tank in the beginning, how nasty it looked, and now look how nice it is there. Here's a picture of the side strap. We'll reassemble this after we paint it and dry it, and then we reassemble it. It'll look like a brand new radiator. Here's a picture of it. We're going to water test it. We'll hydrostatically test this thing before we air test it. We test them twice to make sure they don't leak. There's nothing worse than putting one back in a piece of equipment and having to pull it back out again because it leaks. We do a lot of these, and that's one of the ways we keep our customers happy is quality work. There's another picture of it. There we go, we got a test rig on it, and we're testing the radiator right here. We're going to add air over water and then look for leaks if we don't see anything. If we see something big there, we can take care of it, and then it goes to the tank, and we'll actually submerge it in the tank and put air inside the radiator and look for bubbles. That's the last step. And then we dry it and put it on the truck right there and ship it out. And that was our video for today. If we can be of any service to you, just give us a call. intermountainradiator.com. Thanks. Bye.